So, in the last devlog, I showed my old games and what led up to this new project. In this one, it's going to be about the actual developmental progress of the game. And I am also sure I left a lot of unanswered questions that you may be wondering about my game. So let's get these out of the way real quick, then we can get to the real juicy stuff. How old are you? And where are you in life? Well, I'm 16. I am currently doing homeschool due to me experiencing a Class A assault that happened at my public school. So every time I am near that school, I feel like I feel a great fear being anywhere near that area. Which is why I'm doing homeschool. And I am glad that homeschool has given me the time to reflect on my life and pursue my passion of game development while also allowing me to still do school. Why the ward? Why did I name it the ward? Well, I named it the ward because that's what the cult I grew up in, the Mormon Church, called it. They didn't call it a church. They called it the ward. That word meant something very specific to me growing up, and I never forgot it. How long have you been making games? Well, 8 to 10 years I have been roughly making games. Around my first time, I believe I was on Scratch. Then I moved on to Unity, and that after a year of Unity, I believe I tried out RPG Maker. It didn't fit the vibe I was going for, and eventually, when I worked on a few prototypes before this project, I realized all the engines out there contain a lot of bloatware, and would lag and have huge file sizes on my system, so I realized I should make my own since the engines out there aren't working for me. What are echoes? What are echoes? Well, my God, what the fuck? Oh, the kitty wanted to come out here. Oh, the kitty. Oh, the kitty. Oh, the kitty. Oh, the kitty. The kitty is checking at the mic. If you hear noises in the background, it is due to my cat. Oh, she's jumped up on the table. Hopefully she'll come sit next to me, because if she sits next to me on the right, then I can scoot over. Actually, I'm going to scoot over right here, in case you guys be able to see her, never know. Now she's just laying down behind the laptop. She likes to come up and sniff the mic. So, please don't be surprised. So what are echoes? Well, echoes are like fragments of memories, and I wanted to make it like you are experiencing something that Ren, the main character, that you guys play as in the game, dealt with, but you also learn how they got to that point and why they continue to do that. What is happening? So no character is inherently the good guy or the bad guy. Every person has flaws and beliefs, their own version of right and wrong, and their own point of view. I wanted to reflect that within the game's message itself. Why did I decide to rewrite my whole engine when I was just about to be done with the main engine? Well, I honestly just couldn't be bothered to rewrite all of the code and untangle that mess. And judging how in an hour I was able to rewrite the entity and UI entities completely in the window rendering, I feel I made the right choice. But let me go into more detail. I noticed my code for my engine was getting very messy and hard to understand, so I planned to have a bunch of generalized classes, and then a couple of master classes that would handle all of the logic and the linking with all of the different systems. When I was using the old engine, anytime I wanted to add one thing to that engine, it felt like I was trying to make a house with a deck of cards, where if I added one thing, I would have to completely rewrite other parts, and it was a huge pain. Otherwise, the whole thing would come tumbling down. Like, the exe would not work. It wouldn't even make the exe. So will this application, this game, this software, a story game, this interactive story game I release, will it be free or will it be paid? Well, I am leaning towards it being the price of a burger and fries at In-N-Out. So, like $5. I figure $5 is low enough that a lot of the world would be able to purchase it, and if they can't, or if they just wanted to try it out, they could always email me, and I would just give them the game key. And for the people that don't want to go to the trouble of that, I plan to post my full game with no viruses on a few piracy sites so people can at least play the game and experience it, even if they don't want to pay. Because for me, pirates are the most loyal customers. For me, when I pirate games to try them out. And if I like them, I legalize them, and I buy quite a few copies. Now, there are a few more questions I could answer, but this section is going on way too long to fit all of them on here. So let's get to the real meat of this development journey. So for day one, right after I had posted devlog number 0, I was trying to write a second scene and layer an interaction detection if you overlapped with a door. But then I started getting really angry at the current engine because as I was adding that, I was having to rewrite so many different things, as I answered in the questions before. It was like it was a lot of spaghetti code. All of it was linked together like it was spaghetti strands. And don't get me wrong, it wasn't the soft spaghetti strands, it was the uncooked noodles. They snap and break so easily. So obviously I deleted the current scripts. Then I decided to go work on them and ended up writing. I had only deleted the code. I didn't write anything. Did I fucking delete the scripts? Then I just sat there staring at the screen? Well, I didn't dwell on it too long. I told myself that if I didn't start to work on this engine, I would just be worried the whole time. So I sat down, and the weight of reality I had experienced 2 months prior had finally begun to set in. I felt like shit anytime I tried to do anything that day. I felt like I was a waste of space, whose problems were bothering everyone, and that I would never finish this game, and that everything I had experienced was for nothing and worth nothing. And stop. Remember the 5 steps your therapist taught you. I laid in my bed and tried to calm my mind down. I followed the steps. 5 things you can see: the ceiling, the bed, my hands, my blanket, my walls. 4 things you can feel: the bed, my body, the blanket, the air. 3 things you can hear: my family outside my room, the air conditioning, my breathing. 2 things you can smell: my blanket and my coffee. 1 thing you can taste: my coffee. Wait, coffee? Before I knew it, I had sat up and was sipping from my coffee mug. It was good to have calmed down my thoughts, and I told myself I should rest today. Nothing is worth more than your mental health. What? How long did I sleep? I had jujitsu in an hour. I can't eat anything, and Do I even have time to work on it today? God, is the universe just against me working on this game? I gallantly got up. I quickly got dressed in my gi and grabbed some beef jerky, so I at least had something to eat, and we got in the car. After jiu-jitsu, I got home and my whole body felt like it was going to pass out. The world was spinning.
Oh, God, sorry.
I laid down in my bed and passed out. I told myself that yesterday I didn't eat enough before the workout, so I would make sure to eat and wake up earlier next time. It was now day 4, and I knew I couldn't pass this day up. It was the perfect day. My mental was good, nothing was planned. This is the day I write my engine. So I set up the environment I work my best in. Lo-fi study girl in the background with the speaker next to me, coffee by me, and some water for good measure. I sat down in my chair with a blanket wrapped around me and a fan behind me on low to keep the air in my room moving. I opened up Visual Studio Code. I created the first scripts for me to work on, main window.cpp and HPP, written in 20 minutes. I got to work on entity object creation by creating an entity HPP and CPP so I could easily render an object on screen with interactability. I was on a roll, so I knocked out UI entities too and got buttons to render on screen and changed to a play scene, which I had yet to implement. I look at the time, and only an hour and 20 had passed.
Only an hour and 20 had passed. Oh my god.
I felt so great. I started to work on the play scene, got a player on the screen, struggled to get the keyboard movement working and animation, but the animation was relatively easy to set up. By the end, I had 2 scenes that looked identical to what had taken me 3 weeks before. I looked at the time, and it was 1 a.m. That is my heart stop time. I have this so that I don't burn out. The code isn't going anywhere, and neither am I. I uploaded my changes to my Git repository as a backup and went to bed. I could tell I was happy with what I managed to do. I got up, did some socializing. Socializing, am I right? Got some coffee and walked upstairs to my room. I saw how dirty my room was. Clothes all over the floor, bowls and empty cans, and water bottles all over my desks. How did I even work in an environment like this yesterday? I grabbed a trash bag and started to clean my room. Now that it was looking a lot tidier, I got to work fixing every bug I had noticed yesterday. This took the whole day, and before I knew it, it was 1 a.m. I can do more tomorrow, so I jumped into my bed and went to sleep. I walked downstairs, go socialize. That's when I saw my mom. She looked disappointed when she saw me. I walked over and said, "Good afternoon." She quickly says, "You haven't been doing your homeschooling." I realized now I had been putting it off completely. Out of my mind, I forgot that I had responsibilities. I quickly tell her I will get right to it. I look at how much schoolwork I had to catch up on. No. So naturally, I did all my schoolwork that day, and it ended up taking the entire day. I get up, grab some coffee, and get on homeschool. I can't let what happened on day 6 to happen again. I start to do my homework when Frisky, my cat, comes over and laid on my keyboard. I can still do my homework since it's mostly multiple choice answers, and I can click that with my mouse. She was honestly really cute, so I made sure to pet her a bunch. Then I got a notification from my phone. YouTube. They sent a notification to my phone about Rocket Jump. Oh, cool, I thought to myself. Is it another web series or an update on the movie they were working on? Then I saw the title, We Are All Gonna Die. I know that movie. It's their movie. Oh my god, they released it for free on their channel? I started to fangirl. I stopped everything I was doing to sit down, grab some food and water, and watched it. Great movie, by the way. I then forgot to work about working on anything, so nothing else really happened. I did my homeschool, but forgot to work on the engine today. Guess stuff really is out of sight, out of mind. I woke up to an email from someone. I checked it, and it was CompTIA. Since I took the AP Networking exam, I got a free voucher for Networking Plus. This is amazing, since it would open so many opportunities. I was already planning to take the A Plus exam, so taking the Networking Plus one first would be great. I also had access to a study course for free, so I was using that for the rest of the day. I had scheduled my exam to be July 11th. Gotta avoid the July 4th week. Can't have fireworks going off while I'm taking a test.
Huh? What is that?
My dad had told me today that if I had passed the Networking Plus exam, I would be able to work as a support ticket helper for IT contract work, 20 hours a week, and that I could have flexible hours and still have time to work on this project. I'm now even more hyped for Networking Plus since I have an opportunity to gain funding for this project. Rather than $0, he also said that if I had the qualifications and knowledge, my age shouldn't matter and he would employ me. I got a plan from my dad that told me how he plans to hire me and what the workload would be like and how the pay would be. It looks great and it's got me even more hyped. Networking Plus is all that has been on my mind lately. I really want to pass the exam, so I am studying hard for this exam. It's an instant ROI if I can pass, because I am getting hired after. Plus I have my father to help me study and practice since he is also IT and had to take this same exam. But then I realized it's been 12 days and I haven't even started on the video yet, so I started to work on that for today and probably tomorrow and maybe the next week. Well, that's everything that's happened since Devlog number 0. I now would like to touch on a design element of the game. Echoes. You remember me talking about them from the Q&A, right? You definitely didn't skip it using the chapter select, right? Well, and you also remember how I talked about them being kind of fragments of different perspectives of events that happened to people? Correct? Yes, no? Well, this is the element that I'm going to be putting as much time and effort into as possible. They give insight into how Ren, the main character, thinks of these characters and what she knows of their backstories. Each echo is going to be designed to feel like that character's specific kind of pain. While you play through, you experience the emotions and pain that characters went through, not just showing it. Well, what is next? What is the goal we are aiming for next? Well, I am aiming to study for the Networking Plus exam and get the certification to secure funding for the project. With funding, I can get help from other devs on music, on art, and a lot of other aspects to the game that are needed that would take me maybe years to figure out on my own. It will help me make a better game for you guys, the ones who are actually interested. Thank you for sticking with this video through the end. I want to focus on the more personal side of development rather than just tutorials. If you like this style of content and would like to see more, I would greatly appreciate you liking this video and subscribing so that you can get updates from me as I develop this project. If you have any questions for me, please leave them in the comments below and I will try my best to answer as honest as possible. Thanks to my family for helping me through life, and thanks to you, dear viewer, for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. It's the kitty, the kitty, the kitty, the kitty, oh the kitty, the kitty, oh the kitty, the kitty, what?